All right, let's do this damn thing. Woo-hoo! We're in double digits.
We're 10 now.
This is episode 10.
Woohoo!
We've come so far.
Look at us go. We're growing up.
I know. I'm honestly amazed we've committed and kept up with it this long.
Yeah, we've been doing good.
I'm so proud of us.
We're definitely cutting it a little close this month.
We are.
Last Saturday,
It's the last Saturday, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna edit, but I'll figure it out because we usually record on Saturdays and I edit on Sunday, but I'm going to a musical tomorrow.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm gonna go see Waitress.
Fun.
My mom. She's coming up after.
Very cool. Yeah, this month has been weird with my move and then my birthday.
So, should we get weird?
Let's get weird.
We'll start with some creature features.
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, it never ends well, but yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Scissors! Dean, always with the scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Alright, I'm going first. Okay. Well, I have a very fun creature to share with you. And I found this creature while scrolling through the TikToks. And occasionally end up on the weird and dark and creepy side of TikTok, which is fine because it's good fodder for this podcast.
Absolutely.
And there was this TikTok that was the top 10 cryptids you've never heard of that are actually kind of awesome or something like that.
Okay.
And this was one of them, and I thought they were really majestic and beautiful, and I was like, oh, you know what? I always do these weird ass, eye butthole, creepy ass cryptids. Let's do something nice for once. Jinx, just kidding. It's not as nice as it sounds, but I'll let you be the judge. So we are going to talk about a mythological hybrid animal that combines the physical features of a stag and a bird.
My girl!
If only that was their name. They're actually called peritons.
Okay.
And they were created by Jorge Luis Borges in the Book of Imaginary Beings, based upon a supposedly long-lost medieval manuscript that described these creatures in great detail.
Okay.
They're said to have the head, neck, forelegs, and antlers of a stag, combined with the plumage, wings, and hindquarters of a large bird. Although some interpretations portray the periton as a deer in all but coloration and with bird's wings. You'll see it. I think the images I found mostly showed it looked like more or less like a deer that had wings sprouting out of its back, and they're
like a Pegasus?
Almost a Pegasus, but they're antlered.
Yeah.
And then they're very bright colored.
Okay. So
the coloring of a bird and the wings, but everything's deer shaped.
Interesting.
Yeah. According to Borges, the peritons lived in Atlantis until an earthquake destroyed the civilization and the creatures escaped during its demise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Okay. So, deer, bird, underwater.
Pre-underwater.
Pre-underwater.
Because it's before Atlantis was swallowed by the sea.
Before they sunk, right.
So when Atlantis sunk, the peritons escaped.
Okay. Now I'm following.
So it's stated that a periton casts the shadow of a man until it kills one during its lifetime, at which time it casts its own shadow. And it was once prophesied that peritons would lead to the downfall of Rome.
Okay.
Yeah. I went off a deep end real quick with these things. So they are believed to be about 7 feet long and 5 feet tall, similar to that of a giant eagle, with dark green or grayish green feathers. The head is covered in a bluish black or purple hair and is roughly the shape of a deer's head. Its mouth was full of jagged fangs, and its talons were sharp as razors. On top of its head is a set of extremely sharp and strong antlers, which are as hard as steel and jet black in color. The male have light blue chest feathers, while a female are pale brown, which mimics the bird kingdom because the males are often more brightly colored to detract predators. And a periton's eyes will glow or glitter a reddish orange.
Okay. Yes. We are going all over the color wheel.
We are just... I mean, it's very up my alley.
It's flamboyant.
It's very, very...
I was gonna say, when you're given the color scheme, I'm like, this is a Kelly cryptid.
This is I was drawn to these for a reason. I like color. What can I say? Whatever fell magic created these creatures, granted them a deceptively strong hide that is nearly impervious to anything except magical weapons. They reportedly smell like humans, although others say the smell is indescribable, but triggers a sense of dread. Which I want to know, like, what do you mean? Like, how do humans smell?
Yeah. Like,
Notice, like body odor? Are they stinky?
Yeah.
I mean, they could. I mean, animals sweat
maybe
too. Some animals do.
I guess we gotta ask a giant because they're like, hey, fee, fi, fo, fum.
Yeah, no, well, if I ever meet a giant, I'll ask, hey, what do humans smell like?
What do we smell like?
Tell me that before you eat my face off.
Yeah.
So perhaps the strangest feature of the Periton is its shadow. The shadow does not usually resemble the shape of the beast itself. Instead, it's said to appear as the outline of whatever creature whose heart the Periton last ate. Oh yeah, by the way, they eat hearts. That's what they live on. They rip open people with their steel, or not just people, but creatures, other beings with their steel hard antlers and eat their fucking hearts.
Sounds like a hearty meal.
Oh, good Lord. You were waiting for that. But chink.
You're welcome.
Oh, God, all right. That's where we're starting today. That's good.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. Oh, that live's going to be real fun. Oh. On a side note, we just decided today that as our 1-year anniversary is coming up in a few months, in October, for our 1-year anniversary podcast, we are going to do a live broadcast.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll go live on YouTube because I think you can also record it when you do live and like save it and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Costumes, shenanigans, drinking games.
There might be a drinking game. But yeah, so you will buckle in and you'll see a lot of the times I cut this stuff out, the shenanigans when we get really off top. Some of them I leave in. Yeah. But you're gonna see what our chaos ensues in all glory.
Unfiltered,
unfettered weirdness.
Yup.
Which is what we're titling the live officially. That's what I've just decided.
There we go.
All right. So reports suggest that the Periton's shadow was always that of a human, and legend told that they had once been humans themselves, hence the human shadow. Mm-hmm. There was some controversy as to when or what shadow would be cast by these creatures. Some argued that the only time a Periton would cast its own shadow was immediately after killing a victim, but before consuming it. Others said that the shadow reverted to its own only after eating a heart and for a brief period afterwards. Some attributed this phenomenon specifically to the female of the species, but in any case, the matters of the Periton's shadow are a long-standing mystery since the 14th century, which is when the beast was first talked about. Unlike the eagles they resemble, Peritons do not glide at high altitudes. They prefer darting close to the ground. There are conflicting tales about their maneuverability on wing, and some claim they have very poor flying ability. Although some will claim that they are very good at maneuvering it, turning at right angles at full speed over a short distance. So, like, they can't fly long and far and hard fast, but, like, in small areas, they're going to fuck you up. They are also believed as just as intelligent as humans and said to have foul tempers, but are intelligent, patient, and cunning. They would make detailed plans for a hunt and carry them out meticulously, and would wait any length of time to achieve their aim. And though they may appear relaxed, they are ready for the prey at any time. They could understand at least common and sometimes other languages, but they could not speak, at least not in words recognizable to most. Some believe that they had a language of their own, which is described as a series of pained or enraged screeches and roars, even human-like screams. By the 14th century, none had bothered nor taken the risk to decipher it. They were perpetually unhappy creatures and despised their own existence, yet they were driven by a desire to kill others and someday ascend to a higher form of existence by the eating of a, quote, perfect heart. The Peritons believed that the perfect heart must always be eaten fresh, which was why they tried to tear it from the living prey with their sharp talons. So strong was their desire that more intelligent Peritons even kept and bred other creatures to harvest hearts for them. Human hearts were the preferred variety. Strangely, Peritons did not believe that an elf could have a perfect heart. They would never eat the heart of an elf, but they might kill an elf for other reasons, or for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Wily little critter. Mm-hmm. Despite this, some believe that a Periton would in fact keep elf heart as like emergency food.
Okay.
Malar, the Beast Lord, would sometimes send Peritons to aid his followers or attack their enemies. And Peritons attack by slashing with their horns, snapping with their ferocious jaws, or clawing with their deadly talons. They're adept at attacking with all three at once, and are especially dangerous when making swooping attacks. So imagine those fuckers coming out of the sky. Fighting your fucking heart out.
Yep. Whee! I mean, if your heart doesn't stop first from it just swooping by.
Right. So ruthless. They are ruthless, and they tend to focus on attacking the weakest foes first, making surprise flyby attacks from behind cover, and then darting off again. If drawn into melee or combat, they would hop on the ground using their wings to stay about 5 feet off the ground. The stronger peritons would sometimes carry smaller prey and drop them from great heights to kill them. Whichever target was chosen rarely changed to a new one until that target was killed. They're very focused creatures. If an opponent was helpless or unconscious, a periton would attempt to rip the heart from its victim with its claws and immediately consume the organ. They sometimes hunt in groups, but their chaotic natures make it difficult for them to cooperate with one another. They often fight over prey and fear that someone else might have the chance to eat that perfect heart. So they're very competitive. I just kind of imagine them as the roided out alpha frat boys of the animal world.
Yeah, I'm picking up on that vibe.
Yep, they're a little intense. They nest in small groups between 2 to 8 peritons, or a family group of up to 4. And their nests are made several miles from their nearest neighbor. They're careful about where they make their nests, choosing locations that they could avoid other winged creatures. Even if they were a threat to them, the peritons don't want the competition or interference and want a clear, easy path to their hunting grounds. Periton females lay eggs with shells as hard as metal. Ouch. That sounds awful.
So
clunk clunk.
Clunk clunk. So maybe if you're egging someone's house or car, don't use those if you don't want to do excessive damage.
Or maybe you do.
Depending
on whose house it is.
Yeah. Harmless prank.
I if these things are 7 by 5 feet in size.
Those eggs have to be
Those massive. Are some big ass eggs. That if you're gonna haul off a freaking periton egg, that's gonna take some effort. That would be no. It is said that acid is required to melt the shells.
Oh, okay.
Some scholars believe the reasons peritons consumed hearts is because of the high iron content, which is thought to be used in both the production of their antlers and eggshells.
Okay,
and perhaps even their skin and feathers, because their skin is very tough.
Yeah.
In any case, a female is not fertile unless she has eaten a fresh heart. This heart has to come from a humanoid. Preference for humans, but would also accept dwarves, elves, ogres, and orc hearts. Between 3 and 8 hours after consuming the heart is when she is fertile and when they will mate.
Okay. So you got a very little window to get it on.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. She would then lay between 1 and 4 eggs at a time, and a mated pair of peritons will share the duties of guarding their nest and sitting on the eggs.
Okay, yay!
So we like a co-parenting moment.
Yes,
I'm liking them more now. If it wasn't for the eating the hearts of humans thing, I might be down for it.
Yeah.
Periton eggs have an incubation period for up to a month. The hatchling has to be fed for the first month of its life before they can grow to maturity after only 3 months. The parents often carry live prey to their nests and watch as the infants kill and consume them themselves. The young stay with their parents for as long as a year before they establish their own nests.
Okay.
Some believe that peritons were omnivores, and although they do eat hearts to reproduce, they could sustain on vegetables alone if needed to be. A common meal when just feeding rather than trying to produce would be maybe a rabbit, deer, or horse. But as has been previously said, they prefer humanoid flesh. Yep. They have a few natural predators, but the most common are believed in, or at least in the lore of this, is griffins, which are one of the few animals powerful enough to hunt them. They are widely viewed as having a magical or otherwise unnatural creation. No one knows for sure where or how they came to be, but there are many theories. Some believe, like I said earlier, that they began as humanoid creatures and then evolved over time. And most believe that they are the creation of some sort of evil deity. But no one knows for sure who or why or what. They have no history. They just poof, existed.
I'm here. Surprise.
Yes. So there is an alternative, a little lore story that goes along with them from this book that was written, and this is all old folk tales and fairy lore and that kind of stuff.
Cool.
But a sinister tale that is often used with the Peritons is the tale of the brother Delph of Verdusk, who is some ancient legend I don't know anything about, but it sounds interesting. He was told that Peritons had once been this type of people called the Kala of Imaskar, a human race of evil Bane worshippers, and that as punishment for their crimes, they were cursed by the 5 gods of law. Lathander, the god of dawn, said, quote, "You have been swift as an eagle in your flight from justice, so I curse each of you with the body of an eagle." And Mistra, the goddess of magic, said, "Fierce as a wolf have you been in your prosecution of the innocent, so I curse you with the teeth of a wolf." And then Torm, god of duty, said, "Foolish as a stag in rut have you been as you shunned what is true and good, so I curse you all to bear the head and horns of the stag." Ilmater, god of suffering, said, "You have tormented and torn heart and soul from your victims, so I curse you with unnatural appetite, so that you may only live and prosper when devouring the hearts of your prey." And finally, Myliki, goddess of the forest, said, "While you acted as beasts, your heart contained evil, which only humans can know. I curse you to always cast the shadow of the humans you once were, to always remind you of the terrible deeds and of the souls that you have lost." And thus they become the Peritons. Yeah.
Like, yes, they're punishing them for, like, not following them and stuff, but they're also just creating monsters that are going
to eat people.
So they're kind of being quite evil themselves.
Yes. But, evil or not, I mean,
the gods are always fickle.
But you can include this creature in your D&D campaigns. I had hinted to you that I found a D&D sheet for this critter, which the imagery on this is just chef's kiss.
I'm excited to see this.
But I will pass off this to you, and you can tell me what you think of this D&D character.
Okay. That is quite interesting. I am not going to let my husband get a hold of this, depending on what I find in the stat block, but that actually looks really cool.
It is really cool. And you can take that home to Kane if you'd like for your next campaign.
Okay, so it's a CR or challenge rating of 2, which is fairly decent. This would be something you would give to like a mid-level party, so like say like 4 or 5, depending on if you're in groups or not. They get a decent strength, +3. They have damage resistance. Oh, that makes sense if they're all
metal and like tough hide,
Yeah, damage resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Okay, so
basically you need magic to kill this thing.
You need to use magic abilities. Has a 3 attacks. It's got a dive attack, a flyby, and keen sight and smell. They have advantage on wisdom checks that rely on sight or smell. That makes sense. Okay. And for actions, they have a multi-attack. The Periton make 1 gore attack and 1 talon attack. Oof.
Yep.
And they can gore or they can use their talons.
Yep.
They have an armor class of 13. Okay, that's their natural armor. That's not terrible. That's a mid-roll. So it is possible to hit them. Okay, they got 33 hit points. Not terrible. And a speed of 20 and a fly speed of 60. Okay. This is actually a fairly formidable thing. I would not want to cross this in battle.
Yeah.
Likely we'd come across this if Kane were to put this in, probably in like a forest or maybe like a mountain range or something. Because you mentioned they like make their nests up pretty high.
They make their nests. And they live in the forests.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I will definitely be showing them this, but
maybe you can twist it to your advantage and you can.
I get one as your pet.
I get one as a mount. Yeah, and then you can use those skills to your advantage.
There we go.
There you go. See,
I want a pet Periton.
I'm contributing to your next D&D campaign.
Well, if you're welcome. Thank you. Now you just need to join us.
Well, yeah. But yeah, that is the Periton in all its not
glory.
I would say
gruesomeness.
Yeah, gruesomeness. That's a good word for it. It was one of those where I chose it thinking, oh, it's so cute, and went, oh, that was a choice. But I committed, so
we commit to the bit.
I commit to the bit. Hopefully no one listening to this ever gets their heart eaten out by a Periton. There you go. It's just, yeah. All right. So tell me your creature is a little less terrifying.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Less terrifying in the fact that it doesn't look like an amalgamation of a bunch of different animals.
All right.
But its actions are probably just as terrifying.
Okay, are we eating more hearts?
No,
Well, that's good.
but we're luring people to their deaths.
Yeah, that tracks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're just it's midsummer, it's hot as fuck outside. We're just feeling a little vengeful rage.
Exactly.
And that's okay.
It's okay. We're just ready for this month to be over with, and we're just raging.
Yeah. It's almost there.
All right. Well, I am very proud of myself because the last couple episodes I think I've failed to either A, remember the tarot card, or B, make very vague, loose connections.
Yes, which I am in that seat this time because I only have one story that connects.
This episode, I have connected all 3 of my stories to our card, which, for those of you that don't remember, it was the Hierophant.
Mm-hmm.
So I connected each of my stories to a different aspect of the card.
Well, you did good because I struggled because I was like, this whole card is all about like positive change and the greater good. And I was like, it's hard to get weird with that.
Yeah. So I kind of read into it a little bit. And one of the things for the Hierophant, the reverse meaning of it can be interpreted to mean someone who is oblivious or gullible to a situation. So I thought about finding a creature that tricks or preys on gullible victims, which then led me to remember of this grand cryptid that has Scottish roots.
Oh,
and
I love that.
I have also seen the sculptures I will mention here shortly in person. There is a grand structure made to commemorate this cryptid.
Okay, I'm here for it.
They're super cool. My source for this
assuming it's not Nessie.
No, it is not Nessie.
Although Nessie would be a good one to talk about.
Nessie is wonderful. We'll
we have Pressy already.
We have Pressy. We'll show Nessie some love one of these days.
When we go to Scotland together and we record in Scotland.
Exactly. There you go. We'll do a live interview with Nessie.
Yeah.
How about that, guys?
Done. It is set in stone.
There we go. All right. My source today comes from historicuk.com. I just pretty much pulled up their website describing everything because they do a nice job of going into the story of the Kelpies.
I love Kelpies! Okay, I'm here for this one.
So, Falkirk in Scotland is home to the Kelpies, the largest equine sculpture in the world.
Cool.
Unveiled in April of 2014, this 30-meter high horse head sculptures are situated in Helix Park near the M9 motorway and are a monument to Scotland's horse-powered industrial heritage. What are the Kelpies, you might be asking? The Kelpies are a shape-changing aquatic spirit of Scottish legend, not to be confused with Selkies, which is a different Celtic aquatic creature.
Correct.
The name derives from Scottish Gaelic words Kelpich or Colpach, meaning heifer or colt. Kelpies are said to haunt rivers and streams, usually in the shape of a horse. So here's a picture of the statues. They are
so cool.
They are so cool, and they're humongous.
30 meters that's a lot.
It's big. It's nothing to scoff at. It's super cool because when we stopped to visit them, we were coming back from a different day trip, and so it was like later in the evening, and they have LED lights set up underneath them that glow.
Cool.
So the eyes are red.
Oh, creepy, but
so
I love it.
It's spooky and daunting. I have a picture where the sun is setting and the eyes are glowing looking at you.
You have to send me that photo for the Instagram post.
I will.
For sure.
However, but beware. They may look all cute. These are malevolent spirits.
Yes, they are.
The Kelpies may appear as a tame pony beside a river. It is particularly attractive to children, but they should take care. For once on its back, its sticky magical hide will not allow them to dismount. Once trapped in this way, the Kelpie will drag the child into the river and eat them.
Oh, good. Yep, we're eating people again. All right.
We're just not taking hearts.
We're just,
Yep. These water horses can also appear in human form. They may materialize as a beautiful young woman, hoping to lure young men to their deaths, or they might take on the form of a hairy human lurking by the river, ready to jump out at unsuspecting travelers and crush them to death in a vice-like grip.
Damn. All right.
These guys are vicious.
They're not nice.
Nope. Kelpies can also use their magical powers to summon up a flood in order to sweep a traveler away to a watery grave.
Damn. Don't piss off a Kelpie.
Nope, they just out here doing what they need to do. The sound of a Kelpie's tail entering the water is said to resemble that of thunder, and if you are passing by a river and hear an unearthly wailing or howling, take care. It could be a Kelpie warning of an approaching storm. There is some good news, though. A Kelpie has a weak spot. Its bridle. Anyone who can get a hold of a Kelpie's bridle will have command over it and any other Kelpie. A captive Kelpie is said to have the strength of at least 10 horses and the stamina of many more, and it is highly prized. It is rumored that the MacMcGregor clan have a Kelpie's bridle passed down through the generations and have said to have come from an ancestor who took it from a Kelpie near Loch Scotland. I might have butchered that, but please don't come for me.
Scottish words are hard.
Gaelic is a very interesting language.
It's a beautiful language, but I'm not good at it.
Kelpies is even mentioned in Robert Burns' poem addressed to the Delhi.
All right.
Or not Delhi, Deal.
Okay.
Deil, Deal.
Cool.
When thralls dissolve the Shawnee horde and float in jingly icy broad, then water Kelpies haunt the fjord by your direction, and nightened travelers are allured to their destruction.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah. It's like, dun, 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 watch out. A common Scottish tale is that of the Kelpie and the 10 children. Having lured 9 children onto its back, it chases after the 10th. The child strokes its nose, and its finger becomes stuck fast. The child managed to cut off his finger and escapes.
Oh, damn!
The other 9 children are dragged into the water, never to be seen again. So, lesson from this, next time you're strolling by a pretty river or a stream, be vigilant, because you may be watched from the water by a benevolent Kelpie.
Don't ride strange.
So watch out for Kelpies.
Beware the Kelpies.
They will drag you to your death.
Although, like, I don't want to ride a Kelpie. I don't want to get dragged to my death. But like, I'd like to see a Kelpie.
Yeah.
From a distance. This is one the rating scale we came up with at one time about like booping the snoot. Like, I don't want to boop the snoot, but I want to appreciate it from like
I will appreciate
several yards away.
Yes. So we'll put this on I say a 4.
A 4. Yeah, it's a 4. It's a 4 on the boop the snoot snail scale. I can't talk today. I don't want to boop any snail snoots either. It's like
they're just existing.
It's like
sentient jello.
Sentient snot. It's a booger with awareness. And I'm not here for it. And I don't like it.
A booger with awareness. I like that.
Don't like them. And they ate good lord. Well, shall we venture elsewhere in the world?
Yeah.
All right. I actually want to take us on a little trip around the world a bit, but more because I kind of took your approach to this category for once.
Ooh.
In a what in the world just happened?
Okay.
And this is the only category that I tied the card into. So as you guys know, the card we pulled last time was the Hierophant, which is a very like religious based card. It's kind of like depicted as like a priest or a religious leader.
Yeah.
So I went down the rabbit hole of like stories of miracles.
Oh, okay.
And specifically stories of people who survived things they should not have survived.
Oh, dang.
And I picked 3. The first one's a little bit lengthier story. It has a little more information, and the other 2 are a little bit shorter stories, but are a lot more like, holy shit, I can't believe this person survived this kind of moments. That, yeah, I'm going to share with you.
All right.
And I tied it in because like the idea of miracles ties in with, religious ideology and stuff.
I like it.
So, our first one is a little bit of a mystery also. So you can tell me what you think truly happened by the end of it.
Ooh.
But our first survivor is Ricky McGee.
Ricky McGee.
In January of 2006, McGee had been offered work in a government department in Port Hedland, Western Australia. So we're going to start off in Australia.
Okay.
He accepted the job and set off on the long drive, which he had made several times before. He was driving a 2001 Mitsubishi Challenger and took the Bunting Highway, much for which of his journey was desert trek across the outback of the Northern Territory. The events leading to McGee being stranded are somewhat confused, and indeed, McGee's version of how events unfolded changed significantly over time. At first, he told his rescuers that his car had broken down, but then the Washington Post reported, I don't know why that was hard to say, that he claimed he had been drugged by hitchhikers and left for dead. McGee later elaborated on how this scenario unfolded, saying he had picked up a lone Aboriginal hitchhiker between the towns of Kalgaringi and Halls Creek, and he believed at some point the hitchhiker drugged his drink in his car. McGee said that although he normally always opened his own drinks from the refrigerator, on this occasion he allowed his passenger to open one for him. So, don't do that.
Yeah. Open your own drinks.
Open your own drinks. Don't trust people. Just
never leave your drinks unattended unless it's with someone you absolutely trust.
Yes. Yeah. Nope. Very few people in this world I trust with my drink. Later in 2010, in his autobiography, McGee said that there had been 3 men sitting on the roadside who had run out of petrol or gasoline, and he'd offered to give one of them a lift to the station. McGee also insisted that he could have been stabbed with a drug syringe during a struggle. Either way, he later recalled feeling increasingly dazed and confused, and then blacked out before recovered consciousness hours later. He also said that his attackers did not leave him immediately. They overpowered and stunned him, and he later awoke at their camp. They had a gun, but never used it. They did bring him water, however. After an unknown period, the carjackers left camp and disappeared. Before they left, they stole his shoes, but left him with $12.30, which had been in his pocket. When he regained consciousness, he said he was in a hole covered in black plastic, which had some rocks and dirt thrown on top. McGee suggested it was only the attempt of 4 dingoes to claw him out of the grave that woke him. Yep.
What?
McGee walked for 10 days through the northeastern fringe of the Tanami Desert. He often lost consciousness through heat exhaustion as temperatures regularly exceeded 40 degrees Celsius, which is around 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
According to Mark Clifford, a local man who later witnessed McGee's arrival, although the temperatures were high, it was also the middle of the wet season during this time, which was in his favor. When combined with the abundance of small wild animals in McGee's hardy constitution, his chances of survival were, with hindsight, actually relatively good. However, it was never clearly established precisely how McGee became as lost as he did. McGee said that he survived by eating leeches and insects, snakes, ants, and lizards, as well as edible plants, that he drank water from various dams and water holes and scavenged in the bush every evening, eating, quote, only 1 meal a day, just enough to stay alive. When water was unavailable, he would drink his own urine after chilling it to suppress the flavor.
How did you chill it?
I told you, it's a mystery.
You're in the desert. I guess maybe peed
at night.
At night, but nothing's gonna get that cold.
Also, what are we peeing into to chill it? I don't know. This whole thing is kind of interesting. The only one of these 3 stories that is 100% confirmed is the final one. The others are kind of like maybe someone's telling some tall tales. But the photo with this one is what gets me. I'll show you it at the end.
Okay.
McGee, quote, baked in the day and froze at night. Created temporary shelters from the sun out of old branches and eventually found a decrepit windmill. He stated that he made a little humpy, which is like a stash.
Okay.
Out of a feed trough, or sorry, not a stash, like a bed. Out of a feed trough that was at some cattle yards, obviously, that had been abandoned. He became dangerously weak to the extent that he was unable to travel as far as on his daily foraging expeditions, and at one point suffered an abscess of his tooth, weakened as he was, which could have ended up being fatal. He finally ended up having to remove the tooth from his mouth using his car keys.
Nope.
McGee was eventually discovered about 50 kilometers, approximately 31 miles, from the Birindudu station, which is approximately 500 kilometers or 310 miles southwest of Catherine in the Northern Territory. His rescuers were local station hands and their trainees known as jackaroos, which is adorable.
Jackaroos!
By this point, McGee was starving, sunburned, and suffering from malnutrition and exposure. The station manager, Mark Clifford, described McGee as, quote, a walking skeleton when he was brought to the station and said that he was The area he was found in was one of the, quote, most isolated places in Australia.
Dang.
On April 5th, 2006, McGee was flown to the Royal Darwin Hospital, where medical staff described him as emaciated but well hydrated. While in the hospital, McGee was interviewed by Northern Territory Police, although they dismissed suggestions that there were any questions of criminal activity on his part at the time. They said that they were unable to find any evidence of criminal activity at all, or evidence of McGee's stolen car. He discharged himself from the hospital 6 days later. His Challenger was never recovered, but McGee himself lost over 60 kilograms, or approximately 130 pounds, which is approximately half of his body weight.
Holy crap.
Yep. So here's the photo of McGee after the hospital.
Wow. I would like to see a before picture too.
I can find you a photo for him. There's before ones. He weighed approximately 220 pounds before.
Wow.
And 130 after.
That's insane.
Yeah. So it is wild. So no one really knows exactly what happened, only that he was missing for approximately 3 weeks in the Australian desert.
Okay.
And somehow survived.
Okay.
Yep. Damn. So there's a whole book if you really want to read more about his story that he wrote himself. Can't guarantee it's a good one.
Okay.
But it's, no one really knows. Did he break down? Did he get carjacked? Did he?
Because who knows? Like, if he's out there for that long and he's that severely dehydrated, he might have just, like, that might be a delusion.
Yeah.
Or like a hallucination that he was drugged.
Or
that he forgot what actually happened.
If he's eating plants and animals that he's not familiar with, who's to say he didn't eat something that caused him to hallucinate? So I don't know that we'll ever know what really happened.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm glad he survived.
I'm glad he survived.
Whatever he experienced, I'm glad he's alive.
Yes. He is alive, and I'm assuming no longer the skin. Our next story is about a music teacher from Croatia named Frane Selek. And he is called, quote, the luckiest unlucky man alive. Okay. All because of his number of near-death experiences.
Okay.
Which totals 7.
Okay.
This man has escaped death 7 times.
Hey, 7's his lucky number, man.
Selek's alleged near-death experiences began in January of 1962 when he was riding a train through a cold, rainy canyon, and the train flew from the tracks and crashed into a river. An unknown person pulled Selek to safety, while 17 other passengers drowned.
Holy crap.
At the time, Selek suffered a broken arm and hypothermia, but survived.
Okay.
The next year, during his first and only plane ride, he was blown out of a malfunctioning plane door and landed in a haystack. The plane allegedly crashed, killing 19 people. There are, however, no records of a plane crash in 1963 nearing Croatia that match his narrative.
Okay.
So,
that one could be a little...
Yep. 3 years after that, in 1966, a bus that he was riding skidded off the road and into a river, drowning 4 passengers. Selek swam to shore with a few cuts and bruises.
Okay.
In 1970, his car caught fire as he was driving, and he managed to escape before the fuel tank blew. 3 years later, in another driving incident, the engine of his car was doused with hot oil from a broken fuel pump, causing flames to shoot through the air vents. Selek's hair was completely singed from his body, but he was otherwise unharmed. In 1995, he was struck by a bus in Zagreb, but sustained only minor injuries. And in 1996, he also eluded a head-on collision with a United Nations truck on a mountain curve by swerving into the guardrail, which gave way under the force. Selek was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the car, clinging to a tree branch as he watched his vehicle fall 300 feet.
Holy crap.
2 days after his 73rd birthday, Selek won approximately $1,110,000 in the lottery. At the time of his win, he was married to his 5th wife. While he purchased 2 houses and a boat with his winnings, in 2010, he decided to give most of the remaining money away to relatives and friends after deciding to live a more frugal lifestyle. None of his near-death experiences have ever been independently verified, and at times some of his accounts are a bit inconsistent. but it still makes for an interesting life.
Yeah.
And he managed to live to the ripe age of 87 before passing away.
Dang. Okay, yeah, no, that's... These are all, I feel like, episodes from 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yes! I can see that. Mm-hmm.
But he survived all of them.
He survived!
Supposedly.
Supposedly. Well, the first one is confirmed.
First one's confirmed.
That
Okay.
was, but like everything else is like, maybe.
That's nutty. All of that misfortune, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, lottery.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take that lottery.
Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, $1 million can get you pretty far nowadays.
You know what? The universe said, hey, you've had all this bad luck. Here's some good luck.
Here's a little something for your trouble. Yeah.
Or what is it? Bad luck that he's had that many, or had that many incidents?
I mean, bad luck that he was in those situations.
Yeah, but good luck.
Like good luck that he survived.
Yeah.
I feel like he's someone that people are gonna like dig up his bones one day and like rub the skull for good luck or something.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah. Be like, he survived so many things. Just let it rub off on me.
Mm-hmm. But an interesting man nonetheless.
For sure.
And our last one is not as fun or whimsical. This is the only one that is 100% confirmed, and the person is still alive and has become a public speaker because of this incident.
Okay.
This one is not a giggle situation. And that is the story of Alison Botha. Alison Botha is a woman whose story of determination and courage continues to inspire people in communities. 22 years ago, 2 men abducted and raped Alison in the bushes at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University's South Campus. This is in South Africa. She was stabbed so many times that doctors could not count her wounds. She was disemboweled, and her throat was slit to the point where they believed she might have been decapitated.
Jeez.
She was left for dead. But somehow, Alison miraculously survived. She crawled inch by inch from the bushes along the roadside to where she was eventually found and assisted by a passing motorist. Alison was born in Port Elizabeth on September 22nd, 1967. She was the head girl of the Collegiate Girls High School in 1985. After school, she went to study for a year at the former Port Elizabeth Technicon and then began working. At age 21, she traveled overseas where she stayed for 4 years. When returning to South Africa, she took a job as the insurance broker until her life was changed on that night, December 18th, 1994. As she denied death that night, she later denied her assailants the satisfaction of destroying her life by refusing to be victimized. Telling her story in the book I Have a Life, and now in a movie called Alison, there's a movie about this, that was released in August of this year. She has shared this is last year. Yeah. She shared her horrific experiences and heroic survival. Alison has tirelessly addressed hundreds of people, inspiring others by sharing how attitude, belief, and choice helped her survive. The manner in which she survived, her inner strength and determination, her lack of bitterness and serenity and humility captured the attention of South Africa and the world. In 1995, Alison was awarded the prestigious Rotary and Paul Harris Award for Courage Beyond the Norm. In the same year, she was the first recipient of Femina's Magazine Woman of Courage Award, as well as being chosen as the Port Elizabeth Citizen of the Year. When the movie was released, Alison said, quote, "I have always hoped that by sharing my journey with others, it would give them hope and courage for their own. To have my story ultimately triumph through shared on screen would mean that so many more people would see the power of choice that we each have and might also choose to triumph over life's hardships." Apart from the work she does, she says that by far the most important, quote, job she has is being a single mom to her 2 boys, the reason that she keeps going. And for her commitment to empowering others and transcending their circumstances, overcoming life difficulties, and strong standing in the face of adversity, the Nelson Mandela University, where this happened, actually presented her the council position for the Prestige Award.
Wow.
Yeah. So, awful situation, but like, I love how she took what could have been just
probably like is the most traumatic.
The most like you didn't get much more traumatic than that. Like,
yeah.
This woman, they thought she was beheaded when they found her.
Yeah.
And she was alive. And
just the willpower alone and the luck, the amount of luck to survive that.
To just happen to come across a motorist as she's like dragging herself across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's so lucky that she survived that, and good on her for not letting them take that power from her.
Mm-hmm. I'm in awe. I'm always in awe of women that have been able to fight back and do that and take back control of their lives after an event like that.
And the movie about her life is on Amazon Prime.
Awesome.
So, like, if anybody wants to watch it. I didn't watch it because I ran out of time, but it looks like a good watch.
All right.
But, yeah. That's my stories of miraculous survival.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Intensity.
That was intense.
Yep. He's not going to get any better in my last one. Sorry. I'm real dark this year, this episode.
That's all right. Alrighty. Well, we'll get into One the World for me, where I actually go around the world a little bit here.
We flip-flopped this week.
Yeah.
This month.
We flip-flopped. My connection for our tarot card is traditions and following social structures, which is something that Hierophants really try to instill as they are prophets, priests, teachers. They're trying to pave the way for their young followers. I feel like I touched base on this topic a little bit back in one of our first few episodes. I think it was our... I don't remember which episode it was.
See if I can remember it as you
I believe it was our Valentine's Day episode, because we were talking about different traditions and celebrations focused around love.
Oh, probably.
Yep. So, call back to the Rice Dine Festival and all that stuff and fun traditions. We're going to dip our toes back in that again, but just a little broader, just to look into some strange and weird traditions from around the world.
Exciting.
Yeah. Some sources I used today were News Ukraine, .rbc, and miragenews.com.
Nice.
First stop is going to be over in Europe, in Germany. We're going to learn about Polterbend.
Okay.
Polterabend, which is the strange custom that is quite common in Germany when a couple is going to be married. Relatives of both the bride and groom gather together in one place before the wedding and break things such as vases and dining sets.
Fun.
However, there is no breaking of glasses. I learned.
Interesting.
I wonder why. Once they're done, the groom and the bride are left alone to clean up the mess together. It may be one of the strange rituals around the world before wedding, but it is done to let the couple know that their marriage can also be messy sometimes, but they always have to pick up the broken pieces and clear the mess.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Cute.
I'd be a little pissed if my family came and just broke a bunch of shit and was like, all right, clean it up.
Yeah.
But the meaning is nice.
Yeah, the meaning there is like...
But also,
good.
I'm not cleaning up other people's mess.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's quoted like as a good lesson for every couple about to get married, that you're going to have hardships, stuff's going to break, whatnot. And you know what? I thought it's also a good test to kind of see how you handle the stress of cleaning things as a team, because most people have like rhythms or whatnot of how you handle stress or how you like tackle like big tasks. So this is probably a good test to make sure you can work well as a team to manage that, because I would imagine this gets pretty messy.
Cleaning, if you've ever like broken something that's like glass or
like ceramic
or whatever, it's a pain in the butt to clean up.
It goes everywhere.
Like, little shards everywhere. You got to make sure you sweep and mop and like make sure you didn't miss any, because trust me, I've missed some and they ended up with pieces of glass in my feet later, and it's not fun.
Maybe that's why they don't do glass. Maybe. Yeah. But you can still get...
You can get a shard of ceramic in your body, and that doesn't feel good either.
No. So, yeah. That's a good first trial to overcome.
Very cool.
Yeah. Next, we're going to go to Madagascar.
Ooh.
And this tradition is known as Pamadihana, where every 7 years in Madagascar, locals perform the turning of the bones ritual.
Okay.
This is known as Pamadihana.
I think I've heard of this before.
Yeah. Relatives will open family tombs, remove the remains of the deceased, and dress them in new clothing.
I have heard of this. This is super cool.
Yeah. They will then dance with their ancestors near the graves, singing ritual songs. The ceremony reflects a belief of reincarnation and the bond between the living and the dead. For locals, it is a way to express love and respect for their ancestors.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like keeping them fresh, maybe making sure things are well kept. When I'm like, how funny would it be that like you dress your ancestor up in like one outfit, and then the year comes around, you have to go put a new one on. Like, hey, I really want that outfit back. I would assume they wash everything.
I would hope, but still.
But still.
I would guess, just for some, like, you'd probably throw out the old clothes.
I would imagine.
Or burn them.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. I would maybe want to dig into that a little bit more. Like, what do they do with the clothes? Or maybe that's part of, I would imagine maybe there's a part of the celebration where they make clothes for
Maybe.
it, or they have like just a special stash for this celebration.
Maybe.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'm intrigued.
As am I. It's kind of like Day of the Dead, but with extra steps.
Yeah, like more in depth.
I don't know about digging up everybody. I hope that it's easy access, because that sounds like a lot.
Also, are we digging up people like the very first year after? Because that might be gooey.
Ooh, that's a good.
Or are we just doing bones? Like, we wait till they're at the fully, like, decomposed to nothing but... Because then I'd be like, whatever. Like, they're bones. They're not... But if there's goo involved, I don't know that I could be involved.
Or maybe they're embalmed. Maybe, like, I
mean, even embalmed.
Or not embalmed, but,
Oh, mummified? Yeah. Oh, that would... Maybe.
But if you're removing them, that's gonna interrupt the mummification process.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I have questions.
I
don't have answers right now, but we'll get answers.
I don't either. Like, a lot of these ones I found, it's just kind of the surface summary of them.
Yeah.
So now I want to dig into it more, because this is weird.
Okay, we will have an update for you next month.
Yes.
Not next week. Go on. Busy enough as it is.
Well, these guys get busy over in Spain. With some baby jumping.
I'm sorry, what?
Baby jumping.
Are we jumping over babies? Are babies? I'm really... Okay. That's not an image I ever needed to conjure in my mind.
It gets weirder. I'll have to show you a picture.
Okay.
Because in the town of Castrillo de Murcia, the El Colacho ritual protects newborns from evil spirits. Residents place babies on soft mattresses, and specially dressed monks in red and yellow costumes designed to look like demons or devils will jump over the resting infants. It is believed that this ceremony cleanses children of their sin and grants them protection.
You better hope you got really good bodily function, like, control.
Yeah, I believe that's why the monks do it.
I suppose if they're like, but like, one clumsy moment,
like one toddler sitting up at the wrong moment and be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna sit up today." Bap. I'm imagining.
I'm assuming they're like small enough infants that they're not super mobile.
I think they're like little enough that they can't
just
like
kind of lay there.
They just lay there.
But one toenail caught on the edge of that mattress, and you're going splat.
Mm-hmm. I'm imagining baptism by hardcore parkour.
Yeah, I love that.
Hardcore parkour, baby.
No, I'll pass. I'm a klutz. I'm not jumping over anybody's baby.
Next we have Cooper's Hill cheese rolling in England.
This I've heard of.
Every year in Gloucestershire, England, thrill seekers from around the world gather for Cooper's Hill cheese rolling event. Participants chase a wheel of cheese as it rolls down a steep hill, with the first person to reach the bottom winning the cheese. Despite the risk of injury, this bizarre tradition continues to attract daring competitors.
I had friends in college who did this. They went to England and they did this.
I just imagine you're gonna there's gonna be broken ankles and bloody noses.
Concussions. Yep. One of them that went, because you drink while you do this.
Of course.
Because it's England.
As one should.
And I had some friends in college who went and did this. And one of them went rolling with the cheese. He beat the cheese down the hill. He did not, and it's a steep hill.
Did he win the cheese?
He did not win the cheese.
Dang it.
They did not win by any means.
Shoot.
Except for the embarrassment of explaining the bruises when they came home.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it was, he told me all about it, and I was like, that is wild.
I want to go to this. Anything cheese related, sign me up.
I'm here for it.
I will not be rolling.
I'm not going to roll with the cheese, but I'll eat cheese while watching other people fall on their ass down a hill.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a very nice afternoon to me.
We'll just have to plan our Scotland trip around this time. Yeah, and we'll take a detour.
You could drive from Scotland to England easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easy. I have one final weird tradition for you.
All right.
We're going to Thailand for this one.
I've always wanted to go to Thailand.
For the Monkey Buffet Festival.
Count me out. No, thank you. I hate monkeys.
As do I. So we will be avoiding this festival.
We will not be going to this festival.
It's in the town of Lopburi, Thailand, a peculiar festival takes place annually to honor the local monkey population.
Which is the one reason I will never go to Thailand.
Yeah. The Monkey Buffet Festival involves setting up elaborate displays of fruits, vegetables, and sweets for the town's monkeys to enjoy. This quirky event attracts thousands of tourists and is believed to bring good luck and prosperity to the community. You do you, boo-boo. No. I had one monkey jump on my back when I was in Morocco, and that is enough for me, and I was trying so hard not to have a full-on panic attack in front of everyone.
The monkey would have been yeeted.
Yeah,
I would have
don't like monkeys. They fall into that uncanny valley where they're just a little too humanoid as an animal.
Yes.
That it makes me.
And they're mean. They can be really mean.
They can be very mean. Have you ever seen the movie Nope?
No, I've not, but I've heard it about.
Yeah, the first chunk of it, it's a segment about, like, I believe it was an actual TV show about this chimpanzee that was used for a show, and it just literally goes ape shit and kills everyone on set in front of a live audience.
Yes,
and like
that was a real thing.
Woman face.
Yes, that was a real thing, and it happened. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just like, nope.
Fuck monkeys.
Nope.
No, thank you.
I'm okay with lemurs. Lemurs are fine.
Lemurs are not monkeys.
Lemurs are not monkeys.
Lemurs are not monkeys.
They are not monkeys.
They are more closely related to like kangaroos and wallabies and like that.
Yeah, that realm. Okay, I will. One caveat: there is one monkey I can wrap my head around and be okay with. The little golden tamarins. The little itty bitty ones, but the big.
They're less.
Poopies. They're less. They're creepy. They're teeny,
but they're still creepy.
Those are the only ones I can tolerate, and will actually stop at the zoo and be like,
yes,
okay.
Oh, look at them! I love lemurs. Lemurs are fabulous. They're one of my favorite animals. The only monkey I can get behind is the gorilla from Tarzan.
Oh, Kala?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or a Turk.
Yep. That's the only monkey I'm here for.
Yeah, Turk is cool.
And it's animated, so that tells you something.
There you go.
Alright, should we move on from creepy monkeys to haunted lakes?
Yeah.
Alright.
We like spooky things.
Let's spooky our spotlight.
Yeah.
So actually I had two choices for this month's spooky spotlight, so I'll probably just use the other one for next month if it ties in nicer.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I kind of, again, went down the dark side of the internet, like had like a deep dive, just kept finding videos about this particular story or this particular place, and how it's literally one of the most haunted places in America.
Huh.
And it's a lake.
Okay.
And I'm guessing some people listening probably already know what I'm going to say, but we are going to talk about the haunting of Lake Lanier.
Okay.
So I came across a story that I think does a nice job not only of like telling their personal experience, but also fully detailing kind of why this lake is haunted, and all the like local folklore behind it. So the story is by a lovely woman named Anyali Anyeti. She is the author of Southbound, Essays on Identity, Inheritance, and Social Change, and the novel Departed Earth. She is a teacher of the MFA program at Reinhardt University and lives with her family near Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So Lake Lanier is in Georgia. It is called the most haunted lake in America. So this is her essay. I'm reading it word for word from her webpage.
Mm-hmm.
It tells about her experience on Lake Lanier and then kind of the history behind it and all that stuff. So this is all from her beautiful brain. Here we go. A restless energy seized the air. It was March 2020, right after schools began shutting down due to COVID, and a friend and I were hiking Laurel Ridge Trail, a 4-mile loop along the northern rim of Lake Sidney Lanier. A sprawling amoeba, the man-made lake built in 1956 for flood control, drinking water, and hydroelectric power, touches 5 counties in North Georgia. It is named after a 19th century Georgia poet, Sidney Lanier, whose poem, The Song of the Chattahoochee, is an ode to the river that feeds it. Mm-hmm. I had just canceled 2 trips out of town, and my friend, whose father had passed away in England a few weeks earlier, had recently returned from settling his affairs. The news about the rapid spread of the virus, co-opted with President Trump's rampant disinformation, filled us with anxiety. can relate.
Mm-hmm.
We longed for an escape and some fresh air, so we jumped in my car and drove 11 miles north to the lake. The western end of the trail runs along the Chattahoochee River near Beaufort Dam, the colossal barrier that birthed the lake. The rains that had recently moved through this part of the state caused extensive flooding, closing several of the local parks, as well as the pedestrian bridge in front of the dam. Before the dam and the lake came to be, 700 families inhabited these 60 square miles, an hour's drive north of Atlanta. Farms, forests, homes, churches, mills, businesses, and cemeteries covered the area. In preparation for the lake, the U.S. government forced residents off land that had been in their families for generations. The American Corps of Engineers then relocated most of the structures. If the Corps couldn't obtain permission from the family members, the graves stayed put.
Oh, gosh.
Roads, bridges, and some trees were also left behind, as was the old Gainesville Speedway. During severe drought in 2007, the same year that I moved to Georgia, the racetrack's concrete stadium seating breached the surface as if it had been dug up by an archaeological excavation. It took a few years, but the lake eventually filled. Today, at its deepest point by the dam, it plummets some 200 feet. From the Chattahoochee River, the trail winds back east across Beaufort Dam Road to the lake's southern tip. As the sun began its rapid descent, the water turned black and murky. Around the next bend, we spotted a partially submerged steel dock. Was it safe? Despite our reservations, we walked out to the far end to take a few photos and rushed back to the shore. We were lucky. We had tempted fate and survived. Lake Lanier, the largest lake in Georgia, is one of the deadliest in the U.S. since its formation. 500 people have died there.
Holy crap.
Nearly 200 since 1994. About 11 million visitors descend upon its shores every year, about the same number as visit the Louvre. But the lake's popularity doesn't explain the high number of fatalities. Lake Altoona, 40 miles to the west, receives close to the same number of visitors each year, but has only 1/3 of the deaths. Drownings or motor vessel accidents are the usual culprits. There is no upward or downward trend and no way to predict year after year how many victims the reservoir will claim. Sadly, what many of these deaths increasingly have in common is the race of its victims. The lake is a popular recreation spot for Georgia's Latinx community, who primarily hail from the Hall County on the eastern shore, which is now 28% Latinx, as well as the Atlanta metro area. One explanation for the high number of fatalities lies beneath the surface. Debris and rubble from before the lake's construction, as well as everything from sunken boats to lawn chairs to fishing wire, create a treacherous underwater obstacle course. This, coupled with the lake's low visibility, makes rescue operations dangerous. But there's another theory for the body count. Legend has it Lake Lanier is haunted. The perpetrators vary. Some blame spirits from the graves the Corps of Engineers never relocated in 1956. Others fault the phantoms of the 27 victims who have died over the years at the lake, but whose bodies were never successfully recovered. The most famous ghost story, known as the Lady of the Lake, reigns supreme in these parts. In 1958, two friends, Delia Mary Parker Young and Susie Roberts, departed a dance. After getting gas and skipping out and paying for it, they skidded off a bridge while crossing the lake and disappeared. The following year, a fisherman came across a decomposed, unidentifiable body floating near one of the bridges. It was not until 1990, over 3 decades later, that officials discovered a 1950s Ford sedan with remains belonging to Roberts.
Wow.
Which meant the body found back in 1959 most likely belonged to her friend Parker Young.
Oh.
Locals didn't need a forensic analysis to know this. They'd seen Parker themselves wearing the blue dress she had borrowed that night from Roberts, wandering near the bridge. With her handless arms, so the story goes, she snatches unsuspecting lakegoers and drags them to the bottom. Lake Lanier's tragic history can be traced back long before it became a lake. Forsyth County, which sits on the western side, was once part of the Cherokee Nation. In the 1830s, the U.S. government expulsed most of its members from what would now be the southeasternmost regions of the Trail of Tears. A second expulsion occurred 80 years later, this time involving a different community. Up until 1912, some 1,100 Black people owned this land and operated businesses in the Forsyth County. That fall, on September 9th, an 18-year-old white woman named May Crow was raped and murdered close to Brown's Bridge on the banks of the Chattahoochee River in a village called Oscarville. The crimes were blamed on 4 young black men who happened to live nearby. They were 16-year-old Ernest Knox, his 18-year-old cousin Oscar Daniel, 22-year-old Jane Daniel, Oscar's sister, and 24-year-old Robert Edwards. The day after Edwards' arrest, a white mob invaded his jail cell. He was shot, dragged through the streets, and hanged from a telephone pole just outside the courthouse in Cumming, which is the county seat.
Yeah.
Crow's death and Edwards' lynching began more violence. White mobs, known as night riders, went door to door with torches and guns, burning down black churches and businesses, and demanding that all black residents of Forsyth County vacate immediately. The residents quickly abandoned their land, their crops, their homes, and most of their belongings, and the whites picked over and pillaged what remained.
Wow.
Yeah. In October, a jury took a little over an hour to convict Ernest Knox and Oscar Daniel for Crow's killing. 5,000 people gathered to watch the 2 teenage boys hanged. It is widely believed that Edwards, Knox, and Daniel were innocent of the crime. When Lake Lanier was formed in the 1950s, it washed over Oscarville and turned it into an underwater ghost town. And incredibly, Forsyth County remained an all-white county for several more decades.
Wow.
In January of 1987, Hosea Williams, who marched across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama in 1965, attempted to lead a unity march in Forsyth to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. He was met with white counter-protesters and violence. A week later, in a second attempt, Williams was joined by Coretta Scott King, John Lewis, Jesse Jackson, and 20,000 more marchers to the Cummings courthouse. It is the largest civil rights demonstration since Dr. King's funeral in 1968. Soon thereafter, the demographics of Forsyth County began gradually to shift. In 1990, 16 black people, 635 Latinx, and 81 Asians made their homes there. While the Latinx and Asian populations have steadily grown, today black residents only represent 4% of the population. Last summer, when George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis, Forsyth residents of all races took to the streets to peacefully protest. They rallied on the Cummings courthouse steps and say the same spot where Edwards was lynched 108 years earlier. In January, 2 brothers, Larry Strickland and Leroy Grogan, whose grandmother was run out of the county in 1912, unveiled a historical marker to honor Edwards and acknowledge the injustice of his death. Forsyth, just like any other place in the U.S., is still struggling to reckon with its racist past, but the seeds of inclusivity have been planted and are starting to take root. And while the county is still largely red, the election last year foreshadowed the emergence of a different type of politics. The lower portion of the county and southern shore of Lake Lanier fall into Georgia's 7th congressional district, and as of this year is represented by Congresswoman Carolyn Bordeaux. It is this storied past, beginning with the Cherokee removal, the banishment of black peoples, and the lake's disembodied souls in search of some kind of absolution, that I carry with me whenever I visit. A few weeks after my trip to Laurel Ridge Trail, like the rest of the U.S., Georgia began shutting down. With most restaurants and stores closed, Georgians flocked to state parks. The governor refused to mandate masks, so few visitors bothered to wear them. Though I longed for another trip to Lake Lanier, the thought of crowds kept me away. Mid-June marked my middle daughter's sweet 16. Like her sister, she missed her friends terribly and was bored out of her mind. I wanted nothing more than find a way to make her day special despite COVID. On the morning of her birthday, we woke to an unseasonably cool weather, and the sky was unsurprisingly gray. I believed that fewer people might visit our favorite beach at the lake due to this weather. We decided to take our chances. Late in the afternoon, we packed a cooler full of food and water, managed to stuff our large blow-up alligator in the trunk. Our expectations were low. If the beach was too crowded, we'd turn around and come home. On the 20-minute drive, I said a silent prayer to pray to the lake. Please, we really need a few minutes and a place to ourselves. When we arrived, only a few other vehicles idled in the parking lot. The beach was practically empty. We made a beeline to the far end and had a 50-foot stretch to ourselves. The girls grabbed inner tubes and noodles and leapt in the water. I settled into a chair, ducked my toes in the cool sand, and watched them act like the teens and preteens they were for the first time since the pandemic had started. A light breeze tickled my shoulders. Was it merely a breeze, or the lady of the lake? And what of the celestial beings lingered near their graves buried deep below the water? Though I had never been one to believe in ghosts, I have always believed in stories. I leaned my head back and shut my eyes. Just to be on the safe side, I attempted to bargain with the spirit world. We will hug the beach and the gentle waters that lap it. We will never cross the rope boundary of its swimming area. The belly of the reservoir, with its deep, dark waters and all its mysteries and secrets, we will leave to the dead. They are the rightful occupants, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just nutty.
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, over 500 deaths since 1956.
Yeesh.
And 27 bodies are still unaccounted for.
Wow.
In that lake somewhere.
Nope. No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yep.
Pass on that.
I don't think we'll be swimming there.
We will pass on that.
We will pass on Lake Lanier. Yep.
It's so funny though, because when you first said Lanier, that is a tinnitus treatment product. So as you're saying Lanier, I'm just thinking, Lanier, because that's like a product that we use to help patients resolve their tinnitus.
Interesting.
So
I wonder if there's a connection there some way.
I wonder.
Is it a company out of Georgia?
I don't remember. I don't recall. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's named after that.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Weird connections.
Weird connections.
Huh. But yeah, that's my spooky spotlight.
Spooky.
A little creepy, a little bit political, but in a good way.
Spooky.
Yeah, I really liked how she told her story and honored the people that came before her. And
like acknowledging the past, because we can't be better if we don't learn about the history.
It's true.
Yeah.
History repeats itself because people refuse to fix the problems that we did before.
Exactly.
We
Alrighty.
digress. All right, take us home.
Woohoo! More spooky spotlights.
Yay!
Alrighty. So for bringing it back for my card connection for the Hierophant, like I said earlier, it's another word for like a teacher.
Okay.
So I wanted to see if I could find any fun or creepy ghost stories about a teacher or that take place in a school.
That's also how I got the other one I almost did this time.
So. Very nice. I did find a story on the paranormal subreddit posted on Reddit by Therapy Chick 7, and I will get
I love that name.
I know, it's great. I'm like, oh,
all right.
I support this name. I'll get into that story in a moment though, because I have an update from my last story.
I was hoping we were going to talk about this.
From Miss Annabel. She supposedly has been up to more misdeeds.
More chicanery.
This time, turning on her own handler.
Yeah.
Yep. So reports from earlier this month, Dan Rivera, 54, died on July 13th in Pennsylvania while leading a national tour of the allegedly haunted Raggedy Ann doll named Annabel, which I reviewed last week. The U.S. Army veteran was the lead paranormal investigator of the New England Society for Psychic Research, also known as NESPR, which announced his sudden death. Rivera had been showing the supposedly haunted doll, which has appeared in the Annabelle movies and the Conjuring film franchise across multiple states. At the time of his death, he had been visiting Gettysburg, where he was leading the Devils on the Run tour alongside NESPR colleagues. A Pennsylvania coroner has now confirmed to People that the spooky doll was not in the hotel room where Rivera had died. So where is she?
I think she's still back in Connecticut.
I
don't know if she was at Gettysburg or not.
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't found confirmation about where exactly she was. Okay. However, Francis Dutro, the Adams County coroner, told the magazine he didn't notice Annabelle upon his arrival at the scene on July 13th. Dutro further confirmed that the doll had not been in the room at all. I just repeated what I just said. The coroner told People that hours before he died, Rivera had been with NESPR colleagues. However, he told them he was returning to his hotel room as he was feeling sick. The Pennsylvania State Police said that on July 16th, members from PSB Gettysburg responded to a hotel in Strabane Township, Adams County, for a report of a deceased man. He was just in his hotel room and
for like 3 days.
Yeah, for a couple of days, because they pinpointed his time of death on the 13th, and the call was made on the 16th.
So 3 days.
Yeah, of course. It's like, I would imagine he was staying there for a couple days, because I would imagine the hotel was getting a little suspicious.
Probably. Yeah.
The decedent was discovered in his hotel room by workers. Nothing unusual or suspicious was observed at the scene. Rivera's cause of death has not yet been revealed. His autopsy results are expected before September. So, just more to come.
I've heard rumors that it was cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are confirmed or anything, but yeah.
We'll have to see what the medical professionals say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I saw this come across my feed on Instagram, actually, because I follow, which we talked about last month, Ryan Buell very closely, and he does a lot of these shows and conventions and tours with NESPAR, and works with them very closely. And he was the one that I'd seen him talking about the loss, because they were friends. They knew each other really well. They were colleagues, if nothing else. But yeah, it was, but interesting that it was Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Because Gettysburg is the most haunted place in America.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if this was part of the Annabel tour. I don't think so. If I remember correctly, I think it was a separate.
Yeah, this might have been a separate event that he was.
Because I don't think Annabel's tour was part of the Devils on the Run thing, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to do a little more of a deep dive.
Yeah, as would I.
But interesting connection to like her direct handler, the lead of the group that is in charge of her and in charge of
like
Ed and Warren's estate, just
dead,
passes away, which is really sad, because I know I believe he had a family, and some younger children. So it's super, super sad, but just an intriguing coincidence.
Yeah.
We'll call it a coincidence for now.
Yeah, it's definitely something to stay tuned.
A suspicious coincidence.
Very suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. That's what Annabelle's singing in her little cage.
Yep.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Yep.
Oh, Annabelle.
So we're gonna get into my spooky story from Miss Therapy Chick 7.
Love it.
It is titled "Working in a Haunted School."
Ooh.
And
I love a haunted schoolhouse.
Yeah. Trigger warnings: there's talks of suicide, murder, and teen death in this, so it gets a little dark.
A little dark. We're on theme for that. The theme of this episode is just dark as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, like we thought
we talked about racism, eating hearts, luring people to their death.
We thought we were gonna have a light, cheery one.
Rape.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna have all light and cheery. Like, oh, this is not a tradition thing. Look at us spinning.
We took the most beloved, cherished card and turned it into like a fucking shit show.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Learning opportunity.
Our bad. Maybe you don't give us shit cards next time, cards.
Alrighty, so this comes directly from Reddit. I will do my best to read this. My butt is just, my eyes are like, ah. It's hot, it's humid, so my brain's half working.
We're going to the lake after this.
Let's go.
Not Lake Lanier.
Nope. Yeah, no.
We will watch for the Lady of the Lake on Lake Superior.
And watch out for kelpies.
And kelpies, yeah.
Maybe we'll see Pressy.
Who knows? We'll keep an eye out for her.
Alrighty. Haunted school. A few years ago, I started working at a new school, working with kids with behavioral special needs.
And relate.
We can relate to that.
Literally what I do.
This was a very old school in a small town. The school itself is haunted, and across the street is a haunted library. According to the town legend, the school janitor hung himself in the third-floor closet.
Oh, damn.
3 young girls jumped to their death from the 3rd floor.
Oh, damn.
And a nun, as it was formerly a Catholic school, was murdered somewhere on campus.
Jesus.
Yeah. A lot's going on here.
I mean, when we say dark, we're just like,
here you go.
All in. All right.
Punch.
Buckle up, buttercup.
And the library across the street is where the town hangings used to take place.
That tracks.
Besides the library being the old hanging gallows, none of the other legends have proof, supposedly. Though no proof, I have witnessed firsthand that things that corroborate these legends. I grew up in this town hearing these tales for as long as I can remember. I had my first direct line to the school through my best friend's mom, who worked there. She would tell us how they would make sure to shut off all the lights at the end of the day before leaving, but every morning they came in, the 3rd floor janitor's closet light was back on.
Interesting.
It's supposedly where the janitor had hung himself. She told me she would walk the grounds and in the evening for exercise before going home, usually without issues. One day, though, she had just clocked out and was making a small loop around the school when she saw a figure in the tree line ahead of her. She describes this as a woman in what looked like a habit. She said she couldn't see her face, but could make out the markings one would see on a nun. She quickly walked to her car and never saw the woman again. Yeah. Now on to my personal experiences. I had just finished a full day of working with some very challenging teens. Can relate.
Can relate.
And was wrapping up on my paperwork. Being new to the behavioral school world, I tended to take longer than most others with paperwork and was often the last to leave. Many a night it would be myself and my boss closing up the school. This particular evening, myself, another teacher 2 doors down in the last classroom of the hall, and my boss were working late. We were all on the 3rd floor, as this is where the behavioral teens classes were. Over the course of the day, I had accumulated some questions I needed to ask my boss and was packing up, planning to head to her office. As I am trying to close up my bag, I see a woman walk by my classroom heading towards the end of the hallway. I figured it was my boss going to see my coworker who was that way. I thought this was perfect. I get the chance to talk to her and my coworker who happened to be my work bestie. Also can relate.
That's how we started. You abandoned me.
Sorry. I grabbed my stuff, shut off my lights, and locked up my classroom. I was surprised to hear silence when I reached the hallway. The walls were thin and my coworker's door was open, so I figured I'd at least hear them chatting. I get to my coworker's class and she meets my gaze with a look of terror. I asked her what's wrong. She asked me if I saw her. Saw who? I asked. At this point, I had scanned the room and didn't see any strange person or my boss for that matter. My coworker gets up and ushers me to the hallway facing the end where the window was. She points at the window and asks once again, "Did you see her?" Finally, after a moment, I put together what she was asking. "You mean Mary?" Boss's name. "Yes, I saw her walk this way towards you, but I never saw her leave." "Mary never came to my room. That wasn't her," my coworker says. My face must have looked very perplexed as she decided to continue her explanation without my reply. It was a young girl, a teen. She walked past my room, and as I ran out to see if it was a lost student, she went through the window. I quickly ran to the window and tried to crank it open. This made no sense, as it being a behavioral school and all of our windows are nailed closed. There is no way someone could have gone out that window. At this point, I'm flabbergasted, and my coworker is frantic. I go with her to get her things from her classroom, and we leave, not bothering to say goodbye to our boss before we left. This was my scariest experience, and there were other small things like locked doors being found unlocked in the morning or papers scattered all over the classroom. The school has since been shut down and is being demolished in the near future.
That's probably the best.
I can't say I'm sad to see it go. Yeah. I'm like, okay. You know what? That says a lot about how they feel about their boss. They left them there to deal with the ghosts. Like, peace, let's go.
That boss is not feeling the love.
Nope, not tonight. They're like, yep, yeet, we're getting out of here.
Or they just feel like their boss is someone who could handle that shit.
Probably. They're like, yeah, our boss has been around the block a few times. They can handle it. It's fine. So yeah, that is a little ghosty.
The true question is, what's scarier? The teenagers that they work with or the ghost?
Yeah. Probably the kids.
Probably kids.
Like, God bless them. We know they got stuff they gotta work through and all that. And they're deep, like, at heart, they're good. But some of them, ooh, it can be scary.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So yeah, haunted schools.
Uh-huh.
Fun.
Haunted schools. What's scarier, a haunted school or a haunted hospital?
You know what? I'd say hospital.
I agree.
A lot of gruesome stuff goes down in hospitals.
Zoe agrees as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
You agree, Zoe?
Yeah. She's barking at a fly, I think.
No, the wind chime moved outside.
Oh no.
So, end of world.
End of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is almost the end of our episode.
It is.
So let's draw some tarot cards.
All right, cards.
You gotta cooperate this
Don't
time.
give me some bullshit. Give me something meaty.
Give me something good. Give me something with bones.
There's bones on some of these cards, I bet. Alright. We're going to shuffle.
Shuffle, shuffle. Let the Cupid shuffle.
To the
Cupid. To the left. To the left. To the left. To the left. To the right. 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 But not that far, right?
Shuffle. Now
Shuffle. Shuffle.
Now shuffle. Now pick a card. Blah.
Oh, the
What do we get?
Fool.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Here we go.
All right, I'm here for it. Didn't we have the Fool once already?
I don't think so.
Oh no, we had the Hanged Man. I think.
We gotta start keeping better track of
I don't remember.
what we've had. Oh, okay. New Beginnings, Free Spirited, and Delirium.
All right.
Okay. This will be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see what. We'll make some fools out of everybody.
Well, and the Fool is often like. There's so many things you can take it because Fool is often
Portrayed.
Thank you. Portrayed as like a jester or a clown or a like.
As he is on this card.
Yeah. But the card of the Fool often represents like silliness and like joy, and it's not actually a bad card to get in a spread.
Yeah, that's kind of what I get from this reading, like New Beginnings. Like, hey, you're going into something with fresh eyes. Maybe you're getting a new perspective on something that may be a little more positive spin. I think there's a lot of avenues we could take. Yeah. The word delirium gives me some. That gives me some fun ideas. Maybe some like old English asylums or things like that. Lobotomies. Talk about lobotomies. We can get into or even like weird medical. I don't know why we went down the medical track, but like there's horror stories of like people like waking up during surgery and like there's some really fun directions we could take that. Okay. All right. I'm here for it. Inspired. Well, we will try to be less dark and sad next month. We could say that. What happened is gonna happen. You know, and we'll try. That's all we can say is we'll try. And if you're here for the ride, thanks. And if not, okay, that's your choice. You're missing out. Yeah, you're lost, man. We had fun. Now in the Weird Cool Kids Club. Yep. Keep it weird, y'all. Keep it weird. All right. Well, until next time, I've been Kelly. I've been Carson. And this has been Weird Wednesday. We'll see you weirdos next month. See you next month. Bye.